How about Lance?
How about Lance? Welcome in, everyone, to episode number 70 of Talkin Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott. His name is Caden Holmes. And for whatever reason tonight, Caden decided to have Lance Ware as his background.
It's our Florida good luck charm.
Well, I don't know really in any scenario that Lance Ware is a good luck charm. I don't think I would put him in that category.
He's going to win Villanova a national championship this year.
Well, I don't know about that. The other thing is that's not even a good picture of Lance Ware. Like that's just a very blurry close up picture of Lance Ware, and like the top of his forehead is cut off and everything. I, on the other hand, have a high res picture of me and Mitch Barnhart in the background back here when I ran into him at a restaurant in Midway, Caden, which apparently Mitch Barnhart lives in Midway. I didn't really know that before. I was sitting at this restaurant in Midway, and I'm just sitting there eating with my mom, and then all of a sudden I see Mitch Barnhart walking up, and I'm like, "That's Mitch Barnhart." And so I stand up, and I say the only thing that Mitch you do Barnhart. Say. I didn't say Mitch Barnhart. I said Mr. Barnhart. I said it's good to see you, or something like that. And I shook his hand and everything. And it's funny because that was back in 2021, and he had just that day met Will Levis for the first time. It was the first day that Will Levis.
Oh, yeah, he gave you some inside scoop.
Yeah, and we didn't know for sure that Will was going to be. I think it's been long enough, I can say this now. We didn't know that Will Levis was going to be the starting quarterback. See, at the time, Joey Gatewood, the Auburn transfer, was still on the team and everything. And so we didn't really know who was going to start, right? And Mr. Barnhart, as I called him, let out a little scoopy scoop. He said, "I just met our starting quarterback, Will Levis, today." And I was like, "Oh, our starting quarterback."
Did you say too bad he's going to get pummeled the whole season?
Well, no. See, 2021 was good, Caden. It was
the following season.
Yeah. Yes, it was the Rich Scangarello year.
That's right.
That was not good. But when we had Liam Cohen, see, we were good, and everything was all fine and well and everything. And Lisa Marie Scott's his photo credit. Yes, my mom did take that picture. In fact, and
it's a nice photo in her background too, by the way. Where's that at?
Oh, I think I believe that's in Utah. Actually,
ain't mountains like that in Kentucky, are there?
There's not mountains like that in Kentucky. No, there are mountains in Eastern Kentucky, but they don't necessarily look like that. I had on the old Blue Platoon shirt there, Caden, from back when we had the Blue Platoon and the White Platoon. Back when we were good at basketball. You remember that, Caden? I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, and like I said in one of my articles I wrote, I mean that better be happening this year. But for that to happen, we need Big Z, and we need our guys uninjured, and we need Cal to actually do it. So it might be a miracle for that to happen, but that's what I'm going for.
I think not having Lance on the team is probably a good step in that direction.
Speaking of, we'll get to the why Lance is on my background later. There is a reason. It's not that I'm just like daydreaming about Lance Ware, at all times. There is a reason.
There is a reason. There is a reason for sure. But we got a bunch of people down here in the comments. Claude Hare says he's so ready for tomorrow's game. And then he followed that up with the comments saying, like, "I'm so ready. I'm jacked up and ready to go." And I am too, Clyde. Like, Caden, Florida, Drew Franklin was born to hate Louisville. You may have been born to. Who were you born to hate, Caden? Like,
I hate a lot of teams. I mean,
well, I know.
Depending on the year, I've hated Wisconsin more than
Wisconsin.
Anyone. I've hated Tennessee because of their awful fans. Yep. I've hated Duke. I usually hate Louisville. So it just depends. Ask me on a specific year, and I might give you a different answer.
Well, for me, from year to year, it's Florida, and I don't really have a rhyme for a reason for that. But I have multiple Gator hater shirts. I mean, just the Kentucky-Florida football game is like Christmas to me. I mean, it is a game I absolutely look forward to every year. And maybe it's because I grew up just watching us lose to Florida over and over again, But this year, we've.
So then why don't you hate Alabama or Georgia?
Well, because we don't play them and we've beaten Georgia. Even when I was little in like 2006, 2007, I think we beat Georgia. and so we didn't have that like big 31, 32-year streak, whatever it was, that we lost to Georgia, right? I mean, we beat them down there even, I think, in 2006 or 2007. So, but Florida, on the other hand, we go 32 years without beating them. So I don't know. I mean, I can't really explain it, Caden. I just
Clyde says 09 is when we beat Georgia. I didn't know that.
Well, he's fact checking me down there, so that's fine. But yeah, there's something about Florida. So I look forward to this game every year, and I'm very pumped up about it as well. But it brings me to this, Caden. This could be the third year in a row that we beat Florida. I mean, there was a period of time where we were lucky if it was even a game in the fourth quarter. And now we're looking at beat them for the third straight year, which would be huge for us as a program. We could say, look, Florida, we could, to pull Adam Webb's comment from our collab show last week, we could dance on their face, as Adam said. Yeah, he said dance on their face.
I think we're going to beat Florida. I don't think Florida's very good. I think, I mean, we can get into this later, but I think I'm going to go with 8-4 this year. I'm still saying that, but I don't think Florida is going to be one of the losses. So I don't think they're as good as, I know they're ranked or whatever, but I don't think they will be after tomorrow.
Well, I really do think that this is a big game, and I don't think necessarily the season's over if you lose tomorrow, but you can't have the season that we're all hoping to have if you lose tomorrow, right? If you win tomorrow, you go into Georgia next week undefeated. Georgia will probably be undefeated too. They play Auburn tomorrow. They're probably going to win that game, but it's at Auburn, so you never know. I mean, if we win tomorrow and Georgia loses, we'd be in sole possession of first place in the SEC, I believe. So, I mean, I think Missouri's undefeated too, but which is weird. That probably won't last very long. As we talked about it on our show with Wildcat Sports Talk, I mean, Missouri's the worst place ever, right? I didn't even know that about their band, by the way, that their band plays from like 2 a.m. Didn't Adam say that their band plays from like 2 a.m. till the start of the game? I mean, that sounds awful.
He also says Starkville sucks too, didn't he?
Yes, he did say Starkville. Allegedly, Starkville sucks. He hadn't been there. But I could see where Starkville would suck. Absolutely. But, if we win for the third year in a row over Florida, I mean, we would own them. I mean, we'd be Florida's daddy, Caden. I mean, I never thought that would necessarily happen with Kentucky football.
Are we going to get the meme of Stoops, like spanking them or whatever?
Yeah, spanking them. I think
will it be time to bring that out?
Oh yeah, we'll bring out all the Florida. Listen, I have an arsenal of Florida memes. I have one of the entire team with the crying Michael Jordan face photoshopped on it. I mean, there's all kinds of Florida. I have one of the Gator and all the teeth are the crying Michael Jordans. I mean, I have
send me a Buffalo one the other day.
Yes. Yep. Yep. It was a buffalo. And it was like a real buffalo, and it had the crying Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan actually blended into the buffalo. It was really funny.
It was really
funny.
It was pretty good. Mary is in the comments down here, says it's going to be a great game. It sure is.
It's a new name. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Talkin Kentucky family, as we say. But that's the thing with Florida with football. It's always like, we talk about the cardiac cats, right? I mean, that's a nickname that we call the basketball and the football team a lot. That is, every year that we play Florida, I feel like is a really close game. I feel like it's just like a heart attack. It's always close. It's almost never, at least in recent years, it's never a blowout, right? The game is never decided at the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's always a game. So, and I don't think it'll be any different tomorrow. But I think it is going to be a big game. And as Clyde said earlier in the comments here, as Stoops said, this is the big news everybody's talking about. He has great confidence that the people of Kentucky will wake up early and pound some beers. Now, when I saw that, I thought that has to be fake. Like, there's no way he said that. Like, he did not say that, and he did.
He straight up said that. And Josh sounds like he's gonna partake here. So 7 a.m. That's dedication. 7 a.m. That'd be 6 for me.
That's 6 a.m. our time. I can't say I've ever drank a beer at 6 a.m. I don't think I
have either. I know people who have, but I don't think I have.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. He said
I prefer coffee at that time.
Yes, I do too. I do too.
And speaking of coffee, is this a segue? Did I just?
I think that's a good segue. I mean, it's National Coffee Day today, and Kate and I saw that it's also National Starbucks Day. We don't like that. We don't condone that here in Talkin.
I could have gone without knowing that.
Yeah, we don't like National Starbucks Day. I mean, we could do without that. You know, we don't like National Starbucks Day, but it is National Coffee Day. And Caden, I wrote one of our topics for tonight is Walmart coffee. And I'm now just bear with me
before
here.
You say that, before you say that, I want to expound on the Starbucks thing. Now, I'm not going to go into complete details of why I hate Starbucks, but I'm just going to say, if you have local coffee places in your town, why go to Starbucks?
No, I completely agree with that.
Like, I mean, buy local,
it's going to be cheaper. And it's almost certainly going to be better.
It's of course going to be better. There's no. I've never gone to a local coffee place that sucked. I mean, service might suck, but as far as the drink itself, it's usually pretty decent at least. And Starbucks is below decent. So
yes, it's definitely below decent. I mean, it's way below decent. Kind of like Lance Ware back there. It's way below decent. Well, I mean, he's not on a team anymore. I mean, he went to Villanova, Caden. I'm not allowed to hate on somebody who went to Villanova.
Are you going to hate on Oscar since he's not on the team anymore? Anyways.
No, he went to the NBA. Lance transferred to Villanova, and in the meantime, he didn't do anything at Kentucky of note.
Well, he could have gone to like Louisville or something, so at least he went to Villanova. But anyways, back to Walmart coffee.
Yeah. Walmart coffee. Okay, so bear with me here. Yeah, I'm going somewhere with this. Last time I went to visit Caden in Western Kentucky, he was making coffee for us, and he pulls out this tub of Great Value brand 100% Colombian bright and fruity medium roast. And the first thing that's going through my mind, of course, is what in the hell is that? Because I'm a coffee snob. I have a scale for my coffee beans. I weigh my coffee beans. I have a special gooseneck kettle that you could set the temperature exactly to what it is, what it's supposed to be and things. I'm a coffee snob. So when I see Great Value brand coffee, it doesn't strike me as something that would really resonate with me as a coffee snob. But Caden said, no, this stuff's good. And, I was immediately, I believe the exact words you used were, this stuff is goated.
Goated, yeah.
And so, I was certainly skeptical at that point. But it is goated. And yes, this is it. This is it, by the way. That is how it looks. That's a bunch of it, right? For $9.92.
Yeah. And you might think that's high, but that's 1 pound of coffee.
That's a lot. Like a normal size bag of coffee is like $3 of this kind of coffee is like $3. Okay. Which is insane. I mean, normally a great bag of coffee is like $15-$16 at least. I kid you not. That is, I say this as I went to a coffee festival in Cincinnati and tasted coffee for a whole day. Okay. That is how much of a coffee snob I am. That is some of the best coffee I've ever had. Walmart Great Value coffee is something bright and fruity. Now you can't get the bold and
don't get nutty or whatever it is. Either. The original sucks.
Yeah. No, don't get that. That Great Value bright and fruity is some of the best coffee that I have ever had, and it's $3 a bag. I mean, it is the greatest life hack on the face of the planet. It's Great Value coffee.
I'd have that any day over freaking Pike Place or Pike Roast, whatever, at Starbucks.
So it's in my kitchen right now. I mean, I bought a bag of it the other day. I saw it. I saw it was $3. I thought, you know what? I mean, why would I buy more expensive coffee that's not as good? It's like, why would you go to Starbucks in your hometown when you could go get something local, support it? It's cheaper and it's better.
Yeah, and I want to give credit where credit's due. My brother Jonathan told me about this coffee about a year ago, and he said the same thing. He said, "I know it's Great Value, but you got to try this."
Yep. Yeah.
And I did, and I've been drinking it since. So
and ever since you introduced it to me, that's something that I've tried and want to continue to incorporate into my life. Josh Hart says Walmart sponsoring y'all now. Talking Kentucky brought to you by Great Value Coffee. Hey, listen, I mean, I would take it. Caden, it was a lot of fun. We haven't talked about last week. We did our collab show with Wildcat Sports Talk, and if you haven't checked that out yet, you need to go check it out. You can either listen on our podcast feed on Spotify, or you can get a Wildcat Sports Talk and listen on there. It was fun to do that, Caden. I mean, that was a fun show to do with them.
Yeah, if nothing else, just watching them like interact with each other, like laughing at each other the whole time. We pretty much do that, but they are hilarious to just
well, they are, and
watch.
And how they are, like, off screen, or off air, whatever you want to say, is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like we were on there before, like 15 minutes before, doing like a sound check and stuff, because it was on actual radio. We'll get to that in a second. But and they were interacting the exact same way, just kind of crapping on each other, making jokes and cracking.
And they have technical difficulties as well, because we did the sound check and like stuff was echoing and everything, but they made adjustments, so they ended up going really well. And the commercial breaks were a big thing. It was nice having commercial breaks. It cut the show up into different segments. It was really cool.
That's what I want to get to. The commercial breaks made it like so cool. For one, like, it's cool to like go to a break and stuff like that, right? I mean, like that's pretty cool. But then breaking it up, it made it so easy. I mean, that show felt absolutely effortless because there were the four of us on there, and we're all good at this, right? And then breaking it up into like 15-minute segments too. Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. So I feel like we got to get sponsors. We got to get commercials. I don't even really care if they pay us or not. I just want to have commercials, because that made the show like so much better, having commercial. I feel like that was awesome. So maybe Great Value Coffee is a start, honestly.
Yeah, who do we need to call? But
yeah,
it's really funny because they made a comment at the beginning like, yeah, all we're going to do this episode, guys, is talk about football. And I thought, crap. And the next thing I know, we're like talking about trumpet and music. And I'm the one, of all people, trying to get us back into talking about football. I'm like, so guys, back to this Vandy football schedule. Like, how are they going to win a game?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
I know it was hilarious. Like, Caden was the one trying to bring us back on track and everything. And Adam was like, see, we need Caden on our show. Okay. He's like looking at another screen, looking at all the stats and everything, trying to hone us back in, trying to bring us back into talking about football and stuff. I mean, Caden, who would have known that you were going to be the one to try to bring us back to football? I mean, that was
me. I definitely didn't expect to talk about trumpet on Wildcat Sports Talk.
Well, and I especially didn't
think, on the radio.
Well, I didn't think we talked about woodcore on the radio either. I mean, that was pretty funny, and we'll just leave it at that. We don't need to elaborate on woodcore anymore. We can, you had to be there. You have to go back and listen.
Things always happen. I say things that I never thought I would have said.
Yeah. No, never thought we would.
It's like I didn't think Lance Ware would be my background tonight, but here we are.
Hey, I want to throw out this stat before we sort of move on from the football talk. Florida has never gone on the road as a ranked team playing an unranked team and been an underdog until this week. Kentucky is a 1.5 point favorite. Florida is ranked, we're unranked, and Florida's an underdog. That has never happened in history.
Yeah, but we're 26, right? Probably one spot out.
Yeah, I think we're like 26th, 27th in some polls. So we're right outside there. So certainly if we win this game, we're going to be ranked. And the question that everybody sort of wants to know is like, is Florida, because Florida beat Tennessee, right? Which nobody really expected. Is Florida good, or does Tennessee suck, or both?
Well, according to Clyde, Florida is 0-7 in their last 7 road games. Is that true?
That right? I did not know that.
They're about to be 0-8 for sure if that's the case.
Well, you could look at that as a good thing or a bad thing, because they might be due for a road win, Caden. That could be one way that you could look at that. So
I don't see that happening.
Well,
send me a text as well. Josh says he's gonna message us at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Okay. Well, all right. Anything for Mark Stoops, it's coach's orders. So, if Coach Stoops
Not a
wants to get,
choice kind of thing.
well, and the other thing is, the whole 7 a.m. thing that's apparently Mitch Barnhart, my buddy back here in the background, decided to open the parking lot an hour earlier. Normally for noon games, apparently it opens at 8. But he decided to open it at 7. Caden, I never knew that the parking lot was closed. Like, is that a new thing? Because I feel like people used to camp out all night in the parking lot. I feel like I didn't know that you could.
How can they close a parking lot? I mean,
I
I'd
don't
show up.
know.
We'd have to park there when we lived in dorms. Remember?
Yep. Yeah.
Show up
at
at like
lot. Yeah.
1 a.m. coming back from Western Kentucky. So I don't really know how you close a parking lot, but
yeah. No, I don't either. So that was interesting to hear. But nevertheless, can you think people are actually going to abide by Mark Stoops's comments and get up and early and pound some beers at 7 a.m. in the parking lot?
knowing our football fan base, yes.
No, well, hey, listen, I mean, I'll be right there with them. So go Cats!
I might pound some
Florida.
100% Arabica
I'm
Colombian ground coffee.
I'm definitely going to pound some Bright and Fruity tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. But when we look at these two teams, sort of, I don't know if you knew this, Caden, but Graham Mertz, Florida's quarterback, was almost our quarterback. See, do you know the T on this? Do you know the scoop?
Nope.
Scoopy scoop on this?
Definitely not.
Okay. Well, I mean, I figured not, but I thought I would ask anyway. Graham Mertz, he's a transfer from Wisconsin. He was almost a quarterback in Kentucky. He was going to come here, he was going to commit and everything. And then Devin Leary entered the portal, and we decided, we'd rather have Devin Leary because he was the better quarterback. And then Graham Mertz ended up going to Florida. So it's like we chose Leary over Graham Mertz. So
he's gonna be a little bitter about
he's gonna be a little bitter, I would think, because he knows that we chose Leary over him. And I think both of these offenses, I really think this is going to be an offensive game. Honestly, I think Graham Mertz is starting to kind of find his rhythm. Against Utah, he looked pretty terrible, honestly, and everybody kind of crapped on him. But against Tennessee, he started to find his rhythm. I think this Florida team is kind of starting to get into an offensive kind of swing here. And I feel like Kentucky's got to do the same. We looked good, Caden, against Vanderbilt in the start of the Vanderbilt game, which, by the way, that's another thing. Did you watch the start of the Vanderbilt game, Caden? Did you watch the first quarter?
Yeah, I think I watched I want to say I watched the first half, and then I checked in and out the ending.
Well, that was the good half to watch. Was the first half for sure. At least the first quarter. So first quarter we start off great, right? I mean, we come out rocking. Jaton McClain gets a big run for a touchdown. Then we get the pick six, right? We start off quick. And then everything just stops. Like we need to stay on a roll. That's what I want from this offense tomorrow. I want us, Caden, to get on the pony and ride it.
It sounds like we say the same thing about Kentucky basketball.
Well,
is this the UK sports plague?
We just need to get out there, and we just need to stay on course. That's what needs to happen. Claude Hare in the comments here. He looks like, as you know, Caden, SEC Nation is in Lexington, the best SEC city, this week. Claude said he went to the Paul Feinbaum show, saw Roman Harper, Marty Smith, and McGee. And yeah, they came down to Baton Rouge last year for the LSU Ole Miss game. And, that's where I got my picture with Laura Rutledge and everything. She saw my KSR shirt, Caden, and she said KSR in the house. And, because I think she just kind of knows Matt Jones and everything. So I should have brought up Talkin Kentucky. I said, well,
she probably thought you worked there.
Yeah, she probably did. But of course, I work for Talkin Kentucky, which is the better podcast, right?
Work, quote unquote.
Yeah, work. Yeah, self-employed. But yeah, so no, that's always fun to go to those things, honestly. And I went to SEC Nation I've never been to game day. I've never been to college game day. I'd love to go to that at some point, but I went to SEC Nation when it was in Lexington when we played Georgia. I think that was for the SEC East title that year. I think it was my senior year at UK, so I think I was pretty sure that was 2018 that was. So yeah. That's always fun to go to those kind of things and see those people in person, like Tim Tebow, and see all those guys in person that you just see on TV all the time, and then it's like they're right there in front of you. It's kind of like, man, it's like there they are. Like,
yeah, I'll never forget. I'll never forget my first time walking in Rupp Arena, and it was for who were we? Well, the first time was back in like the Tubby days, I think. But I remember in particular walking in and seeing John Wall for the first time, like in person, like that team. We went to the blue-white scrimmage, and it was incredible. He was dunking on everyone. I was like, well, this is not what I remember Kentucky basketball being growing up. Well, I like it.
Well, John Wall was, I went to the Calipari basketball camp, Cal's first year. So it was like DeMarcus Cousins was there. John Wall was there, and just all these guys. And it was like crazy to see, especially John Wall in person. Like everybody was just starstruck by John Wall. But even then, even when I see famous people in person, like Caden, I don't freak out. Like they're still normal people.
I freaked out a little bit growing up, like when I was young. But these days, I feel like they're just normal people. Yeah. Your mom made a comment, and this brought back like terrible memories. I'm not gonna lie. Students have to move their cars for the games. Do you remember when we had to play in the marching band, but we still had to move our cars?
Oh yeah, and we couldn't get parking passes for Shively. Usually, we couldn't drive over there.
What was up with that?
Like our own practice field.
Colin, we're in the marching band. We're playing for these games as like entertainment, and we had to move our cars.
I know, and then for the practice field, we couldn't get the parking passes and stuff. No, you're right. I do remember that, so that's a good point. Josh Hart coming with the stats here in the comments. He says, "Here's some numbers about Levis and Leary. He's doing just fine through the first 3 games at Kentucky. Will Levis, 51 for 79 for 800 pass yards, 7 TDs, 4 interceptions. 2022, 61 for 91, 882 pass, 6 TDs, 4 interceptions. Devin Leary this year so far, 58-94 for 855 pass yards, 8 TDs, 3 interceptions. Numbers don't lie. Yeah, I mean, Devin Leary's right up there with Will Levis's numbers. Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, I still do think that Leary can be better than Levis in terms of his, especially his accuracy in the short game.
He's got a better supporting cast, right?
Well, yeah, if they can
catch at least
if they can catch the balls, if they can catch the balls and stop dropping some of these, that would be great. But speaking of famous people, Caden, let's talk about Taylor Swift. All the Taylor Swift craze that's going on right now. Oh, I've gotten 2 interesting.
Are you about to admit you're a Swiftie?
No, I'm not a Swiftie. No, I'm definitely
a little nervous.
I'm definitely not a Swiftie. But I've gotten 2 interesting, or I've had sort of 2 interesting interactions with Caden in the past week. One, I have to say before we get into the Swiftie stuff, going back to the Vanderbilt game, when we had this really great start and everything, I was getting texts from Clyde. I was getting texts from Josh saying, "Go Cats. This is the team we've been waiting for. Let's beat the crap out of them." Brad Harvey sent me a text like, "Hell yeah, fast start. Let's go Cats. We look great." Caden texts me.
I tell it how it is.
Caden texts me and he goes, "Man, Vanderbilt sucks." So if that doesn't tell you where Caden's head is in terms of optimist versus pessimist when it comes to Kentucky football, that's what it is. And then immediately after that, he said, "Watch, I guarantee you that we're going to blow it and lose to Florida next week."
I changed my mind since then on Florida.
Okay, well, obviously.
I saw how bad Florida is in the last week, so now I'm going to say Florida's bad.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I thought, man, can we just enjoy the fact that we're beating the crap out of Vanderbilt, and instead of saying that Vanderbilt's bad?
Well, Coleman, I'm just tired of everyone saying every year, "Oh, we're going to beat Georgia and we're going to go 12-0," and then everyone's just mad when it doesn't happen. Like, I'm going to try to be a realist until I see otherwise. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. You're allowed to be a realist, but I feel like with the Kentucky football, we gotta enjoy stuff. But that brings me to the second comment. Yeah, I was actually on the phone with Caden a couple days later, and I don't know, like, this is not related to football, by the way. I don't know where this came from. But Caden goes, "What's all this talk about Taylor Swift dating Lance Ware?" And I thought, what? Like, it's okay. I don't even think I've asked you this yet. Where did you first hear of this alleged Taylor Swift Lance Ware romance that was going on?
I'll tell you. I'll
okay. Oh, you've got okay. You've got stats here, or you got your sources here.
Is this considered gossip? By the way,
I would say considering she's dating Travis Kelce, yes, I would consider it gossip. But
should Travis be worried?
Well, so Taylor Swift and former Kentucky player Lance Ware have been quietly hanging out. Well,
there's no way this is true, right?
No, there's no way this is. Well, just
who is Corey?
Think.
This ain't Corey Price.
Well, if it's Corey Price, it's not. If it's Corey Price, I'd believe it. Yeah, no, but no, this ain't Corey Price.
We can't make this stuff up.
No, well, just think about this for a second. You have Taylor Swift, okay, can probably date anybody, any male that she wants in the country, except for us, Caitlin. We wouldn't.
Well, I don't want to date Taylor Swift. So
yeah,
Taylor, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we hate to break your heart. Hate to break your heart, but
I don't want a song written about me.
But exactly, but really, anybody. So you're telling me that Taylor Swift said, "How about Lance?" You think Taylor said, "How about Lance," Caden?
He did play center for University of Kentucky men's basketball.
Well, I can't even imagine a scenario. I'm not trying to hate on Lance, but like,
no, I don't think Lance is a bad guy.
No, but how does Taylor Swift and how does that interaction even come about? And that brings me to this next point.
Oh my God! Don't look at the comments.
Yeah, don't look at the comments. But how do you even celebrity date? I can't even imagine being a celebrity for one. Caden, we're not celebrities, really.
No.
No, we're not. We're not. Even though Claude and Josh say that we are, we're not celebrities.
No.
Nobody's come up to me in public yet and said, "Oh my God, I think that's Coleman Scott from Talkin, Kentucky." I
don't want to be a celebrity.
Yeah, I don't want to be a celebrity, but how do celebrities interact with people? I don't even know how this comes about. How did even Travis Kelce hook up with Taylor Swift? How does that even? How do you interact with people that have millions of Instagram followers? I can't even interact with any woman, let alone.
My question is, how's there any trust in this relationship when there's that much money involved and that much fame involved?
Yeah, Taylor Swift, probably every female from age 15 to 40 is a Swiftie. When you think about it. So that's her whole fan base. And then Travis Kelce's, by the way, Travis Kelce's on my fantasy football team. So Travis, I need you to focus on football. You need to focus on winning us a championship. The Frankfurt Flyers, we got to bring home a championship this year. We got to win our fantasy league. So, but how does that even happen? How do these celebrities even begin to date? That's always fascinated me. How they even interact, because they're both everywhere all the time.
How do you think Yeah, I don't know. I can't even begin to imagine how Lance met Taylor. I mean, I know the Kentucky team goes to like Drake's, not the restaurant, actual Drake's house and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
maybe
no.
I'm sure there's mutual connections there. But Coleman, you know, the last time I was a Swiftie,
You were a Swiftie at one point, you said?
when she was singing country, I thought she was good. Like, you know, back before she was incredibly famous, I
Uh-huh.
actually liked her music. But since then, when it got poppy and, you know, every single
Well,
teenage
no,
girl in the
that's
world started
a
listening to her, that's whenever I'm no longer a Swiftie.
that's a good point. No, I will say like Love Story, like back when she like just played like acoustic guitar and sang like
Sang Mean, you know that Mean song?
I think I know which one you're
Harmonies, the harmonies were so
yeah.
good. Like,
Like I do agree with, and that was when I was in like middle school, I think. And I do think that she was good then. I wouldn't call myself a Swifty then.
I was
I would never
exaggerating, but of course.
call myself
But
the Swifty, but I do think that was that she was better then.
yeah,
So
she should
yeah,
have stuck with country, in my opinion. But
yeah, no,
she
that's just my opinion.
she didn't care about my opinion,
Yeah,
obviously.
that's right.
Maybe
But
she'd care about Lance's. I don't know.
well, so that's why Lance is in Caden's background, is because Caden thought that Lance and and Taylor Swift were dating, and we found out that is not the case. That Travis Kelce I almost said Travis Kelce and Lance Ware are dating. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are dating. So that's what that is what's good. So that's all the Taylor Swift talk for tonight. So Josh Hart has a good segue here. So what's
He's
the
asked
latest
this
on
three
Big?
times. I'm sorry, Josh.
Let's the latest on Big Z. So yeah, we'll stop talking about Taylor Swift now, and we'll talk about Big Z. So the last I heard was that he was taking the test for a third time last Friday. The test that he failed, that he needs to, or at least the portion of the English test, whatever it is that he needs. And I would think, Caden, that it was a week ago today, apparently, that he took that test. So I would think they could pump out the results of that pretty quick. I don't know. I haven't heard anything since then. All I know is that he took the test again. Hey, have you heard anything else?
I mean, I don't know the inside scoop or anything, but I'm just going to say, like, my thought is that since it's been this long and he's still with us, like, I expected him to transfer weeks ago. So the fact that it's even getting drawn out this far, I feel like is a good sign, right?
Well, I know what
don't quote me on that, but
what I have heard is that him wanting to go to another team or whatever like can't happen, because apparently the test that he needs it would like apply anywhere. Like he can't get sort of like accepted into any university unless he passes this. So it's like an end all be all kind of thing. So like if he's going to play somewhere, it's probably going to be at UK. If he's going to play college basketball at all. So I think that's a good sign, because Caden, it would have really sucked if he like goes to Duke or something, right? Yeah. But that's all. All I know is we're waiting for the results of that test. But Caden, the deadline for him is October 1st, I think. Like that's the deadline. So like we're gonna
by this week,
we're gonna know like in a couple days, I think. I feel like we've been saying that for months now, but I think we're actually going to know in a couple days. So we'll see, but that's sort of the latest that I've heard on Big Z, at least. And then speaking of Duke, these Boozer twins or whatever, have you heard of them? These
Boozer twins.
I don't know if they're Boozer or Bouzier or Bourgeois or whatever they are.
Are they French?
No, they're not. They're not French. I don't think they are. Anyway, it's not. That's not Olivier Sarr or anything like that. Which I did like all the Kentucky fans that just called him Oliver. I like that Oliver Sarr. But
Oliver.
Olivier Sarr. Yeah, it's not. He's not him. But they're these Duke commits. Okay, they're twins that they're committed to Duke, but they just visited Kentucky last week.
Oh, Carlos Boozer's twin sons. Okay.
Did I say something
that
wrong?
makes more sense.
So,
you said like bourgeois. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
European?
Yeah, well,
okay.
I've been
that makes more sense. Carlos Boozer, he
been,
was in the NBA, so that makes way more sense.
I've been,
and I think he played for Duke. I think Carlos Boozer went to Duke. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, I've been in music school too long. That's why I said bourgeois or whatever. But
playing to be French pieces.
Yeah, I know, right? So they might flip to Kentucky, which would be cool.
Oh, nice.
So that wouldn't be bad. You know, I would take that. I think they can speak English too. Are they big men? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe Claude knows. He seems to know the family history down here. He's talking about where his dad went to school and everything down here. So maybe
what's up with Clyde knowing all about Duke and North Carolina? Do you notice that?
It's a little concerning, honestly.
I'm just
yeah
throwing that out there.
But hey, Clyde did say he's going to eat gator meat at KS Bar tomorrow. Have you ever had gator, Caden?
No,
I haven't either.
Is it pretty tough?
I've heard it tastes like chicken. Like that's what everybody tells me, because it's a big thing in Louisiana. Like people routinely eat gator like as an appetizer at restaurants down here. I've never had it, but apparently it tastes like chicken. So I don't know if it's tough or not. Can't speak to that.
I might try it once. It doesn't sound like something I would like that much, but Clyde says it's good. Clyde's tried it all. Hey, speaking of basketball, didn't our schedule come out?
Yes, it did, and I want to get to that here. What do you say we open up the phone lines, and then we see we can take some calls, and then we'll talk about that to kind of round out the show. But yeah, 502-234-1504. Give us a shout. Tell us your thoughts on the Cats and Gators. And tell us your thoughts about Walmart coffee if you want, or Taylor Swift. Whatever you want to talk about.
Or Lance Ware.
Or Lance Ware, if you really want, you can talk about Lance Ware. Didn't think we'd talk about Lance Ware as much as we have on tonight's show. Claude says, Josh, call first. I'm eating. I love how we have just people telling people to call first down here in the comments. That's interesting. Well, we're not KSR when it comes to calls. So, you can call us when you want. You can call us while you're eating if you want. We're going to give you more than 15
we don't
seconds.
have a screener either, even though that one person thought so.
Yeah, we don't have a screener. Yeah, don't have anything like that. Josh Harp says, you're living in Louisiana and haven't ate gator. No, I haven't. I guess that's a federal law that I have to eat gator and when I live in Louisiana.
Gator and crawfish.
Caden, by the way, going back to, I didn't say this before. Do you know the last time that we beat it's actually, I need to figure out when it was. I don't exactly know how long it's been since we beat Florida 3 years in a row.
I'd say 90s.
Yeah, it was the 1940s.
Wow.
Or 50. I think it was 49 to 51 were the 3 years. I mean, that's been a long time, Caden. So
yeah, I think it's gonna happen though. Even though I said otherwise last week, I feeling pretty confident.
I think Josh is trying to call in here. We on idle? Is this working? Did we pay the bill?
I don't have any calls yet.
Here I'm gonna call. I'm gonna see if this comes through. Is this working? I'm gonna dial our own phone number, see if I come through over there on your end. Am I coming through over there?
Yep.
Okay. Well, phone lines are working. We paid the bill, so that's good. So Josh, I think is gonna call in here pretty soon.
I think you two might have just called at the same time. So try again, Josh.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gives a call back. See, like I said, we're not KSR. Josh Hart
on my phone.
Well,
I don't know how.
We'll hang up and call back. It always amazes me.
All right, there we go.
Okay, I was gonna say our phone line does the weirdest stuff sometimes, man. It's strange. There we go.
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Hey, I can hear y'all now. I heard you.
Dude, you were on the line? Hello? I didn't think I answered. Dang. Maybe you left us a voice message. It'll be entertaining.
Yeah, it will be.
So what's going on? How y'all? Good? Good show so far. A little bit too much Taylor Swift, but oh well. What it is, what it is. That's the big news of the week, I guess.
Well, I just had to explain why Lance is my background.
Hey, you never know what you're going to hear on Talking Kentucky. So
that is true. That's why it's a good show. You know what? It's not primarily sports. You all talk about everything and anything.
That's right. That's why it's better than Matt Jones.
Yeah, you just never know. But Josh, how are you feeling about what's going on in the UK world, about the game tomorrow?
Good, man. I think we're going to do really well tomorrow at Commonwealth Stadium. I think we're going to Fuchs is going to have them ready. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win. We're going to win 27-14. I think we're going to beat them pretty good. And then we got to get ready for Georgia. So I just hope they don't come in sluggish and look forward to Georgia, thinking that Florida's a pushover. So let's hope that's not what happens.
Yeah, and I don't want to be Debbie Downer here, but if we lose tomorrow, it ain't gonna be good because we got Georgia next week, and that is not who you want to have coming off a loss. So I think it's really
important. It would be back-to-back losses, and then we'd just be spiraling in the season.
Yep. The morale could go down.
And it'd be like, oh well, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yep.
But you guys haven't talked about sports betting too much tonight. I figured that'd be a hot topic. With the sports betting coming in Kentucky now, and now.
Oh, that's right.
Been in Louisiana for a while, and you living down there. I can't believe you haven't ate gator because I have. Because I actually went to I done a remodeling job down there one time in Crowley, Louisiana, and that's pretty close to the Raging Cajun Stadium. We actually went and checked it out.
In Lafayette. Yeah, that's I hear all the good food down here is in Lafayette, actually. Like that.
What is the Raging Cajun Stadium?
That's the University of Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. That's their mascot. UL Lafayette.
Okay.
Yeah.
They weren't in our mascot bracket, were they?
No, they weren't, but we're gonna have to do another mascot bracket because there's a lot of good ones out there for sure. So
but yeah, I did a couple bets tonight. I did NC State beat Louisville. I don't know what the story is on that. And that was just straight money line. I don't win a lot, but it was still fun to bet on it. And then I took Louisiana Tech, Utah, and BYU three picks tonight in a parlay. That one hits, I get about $128. So that'd be cool.
Coleman's been doing some winning too, from what I've heard, with his KSR money.
Well, I mean,
he sees you the other day and told him he had to buy the steaks.
Steaks, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't I haven't used any of my own money. Actually, it was just the KSR, like the bonus bets or whatever it was. Like, so it's free money,
Yeah, the bonus bet. Mm-hmm.
It was no lose situation.
With the bonus bet, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool that they got gambling finally. I've always wanted to gamble here and there. As always, please play responsibly. So.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. But
Josh, you got anything else?
Yeah, I'm just excited, really excited. I would kind of wish it was a noon game because that is early to count some beers. So I'll probably like to go. I'll probably be drinking coffee, and so won't be probably no beer drinking time at 7 a.m. But there will be people drinking beer at 7 o'clock in the morning and eating sausage and eggs and all that. So Commonwealth be rocking tomorrow, and I just think we're going to come out, and I think we're going to perform well. I think they're going to get up from Florida. They got up against Vanderbilt last week a little bit, but this is Florida, and there's always people already saying, that doubt, can they do it again? They're not going to do it. They're not that good. Like I said, them stats y'all read off, Larry is doing just as good as Levis did in his 2 years through the first 3 or 4 games. So the haters just need to shut up for real.
Yeah, they do.
We win. Yeah. I hope not, but it's always on to the next game. And
yep.
It's just I really hope we stop before the guts out.
27-14. I like that score.
I do too.
It's a football score, as they say. So
that's a real good score. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that score. Well, Josh, thank you for calling in as always. And go Cats, and hopefully we have some good news tomorrow.
Have a good night. Go Cats.
Bye. Go Cats. 502-234-1504. Give us a shout. Caden, speaking of beer, I feel like there's a lot of good songs about beer out there. But
I like beer.
I like beer's a good one to start with, right? Tom T. Hall, that's a good one. We've got Beer with Jesus. Is that the name of the song?
That's a good one. Luke Combs.
What's he talk about? Sip it nice and slow in that one.
Yeah. Luke Combs has one, I think.
Yeah, beer.
Luke Combs has several, but
all his songs are about beer, right?
Gone with Talkin Kentucky. Who's this? Clyde, I assume.
It's me. Yes, it is Clyde, and your boy is so amped up, I can't even sit still.
Well, good.
Yeah, that's what we want to hear. Do you have any beer songs that come to mind?
Do I have any what?
Beer songs. That's what we were talking about before you called.
Songs about beer.
Songs about beer.
Well,
it's like the Kentucky football theme song for tomorrow.
Yep.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, there you go. It's kind of about beer.
We're talking Margaritaville, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would Jimmy Buffett do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would he do? What would Jimmy Buffett do? You know?
Yeah, really any Kenny Chesney song too. He talks about drinking beer on the beach.
Yep.
No, Kenny Chesney doesn't count. He's a Tennessee fan, so forget him.
Oh man.
So you're probably not a Dave Ramsey fan either.
No, I'm not. I'm not a wait. Who?
Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey, the financial guy. Rice and beans.
Rice and beans, beans and rice. What he says.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay.
No, Dave Ramsey. Gordon Ramsay's the chef.
Y'all got me so thrown off. I don't know what.
Gordon Ramsay gets a little bit more fancy than rice and beans. So
yeah, he does. Anyways, back to Kentucky sports. Clyde, what are your thoughts?
Man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to kick Florida's ass so bad. I can't wait.
We gotta make it explicit.
I've been trolling these Florida fans. See, I'm a part of an SEC group.
You almost make Coleman spit out his drink.
I've been talking trash to these people all day long, making posters all day long.
Oh, so we can't lose.
On their nerves. Yeah, baby. I've been getting on their nerves. I'm just so ready. I went down to SEC Nation. It was cool to see Paul Fieball, and he was talking to, actually, when I went down there, he was getting ready to talk to the women's coach, Kyra Elgie, and I saw her when they were talking a little bit, and I thought that was actually pretty cool. I wish I was down there when Stoops came on. Stoops did come on the show. I actually shared it to my Facebook.
Is that where he made the pound some beers comment?
No,
that was Monday. That was Monday's press conference.
That was in the freaking press conference. Yeah, in the press conference, it was hilarious. Bold move. In the press conference, Stoops gets up there and he goes, "I got faith in people in Kentucky to pound some beers." Awesome.
Like the most football thing I've ever heard.
Loved it.
Yeah, I'm not. See, KSR, they have this thing going on tomorrow at their bar. You can get fried gator with Cajun dipping sauce, French fries, and coleslaw, and I think that's going to be my meal for tomorrow.
It's a Louisiana meal. I've never heard one, but
yeah, that does sound good. There's another place Maggie Davis shared on her Instagram story. It was like someplace in Lexington doing like a gator tail etouffee or something like that. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I always enjoy seeing like the cooked gators on anytime we play Florida at anything. It's pretty funny. But
it is.
All right, what's your final score for tomorrow?
I'm gonna say 28-14.
It's pretty close to what Josh said. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
I actually saw this guy walking around earlier today at Kroger Field. He had like this stick, and it had a gator hanging on it, and he was bouncing it around. Which I thought that was hilarious.
I've seen that before. Yeah, at the Kentucky Florida games.
Is he like dragging it?
It's just like on a stick.
Yeah, like he had it hanging. He had it up in the air. He was bouncing around, tossing it around because that gator ain't nothing anyways. What's a gator? What's a gator to a wildcat? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right.
So that reminds me of how Connor used to carry his trumpet case across the floor.
Just drag it around.
But Clive, before we let you go, you have anything else?
I'm just ready to kick Florida's teeth in. I'm so tired of these Florida fans bringing up 31 years like that shit even matters anymore. We've beaten them 3 of the last 5 years.
Yeah, that stuff means nothing to me.
6 years. So I'm so tired. Nobody cares about your 31 wins in a row. That doesn't matter anymore. Plus, what's funny is the last time y'all beat us, we were missing 24 players to the COVID. So, Porter, you can shut your mouth up because of that. You're coming into our house and we're wearing all blue. It's done. You're done, Porter. You're about to be in a coffin heading back to Gainesville with an L, baby. Let's go beat the Gators.
That's right.
Kick the teeth in. And Coleman, I'm ready for your posts. You better post them all over Facebook because I'm going to be looking at every single one. Let's go, baby. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Beat the Gators, baby. Let's go.
Let's do it. Go Cats.
Yeah, go Cats.
That's a good way. So he dropped the mic there.
Yeah,
nice.
He dropped the mic. Well, yeah, write it up. Take it to the bank. Clyde said,
you know what we need?
Done.
We need a Scott Sully monologue. I feel like we haven't heard from Scott in a while. I feel like we need a Scott Sully.
Yeah,
monologue.
and we keep saying we're going to make that page for him on our website.
Well, I need to message him.
Yeah.
I need to message him about that.
Tell him we need another monologue, and we'll get it all up there.
Yeah,
he wrote them all and sent them to us. We just got to make that section.
Well, and it means, by the way, it means a lot, when anybody sort of, texts us or anything like that, or even comments or calls in and says that they enjoy the show. That on a serious note, that means a lot to us because we have a blast doing it, but it's cool to know that we're appreciated by other people. And
what I loved, Coleman, that review that Josh left on the Facebook page.
Oh, that was awesome.
I really like seeing those reviews like that.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was sweet. This dude, and I don't know this guy, but this guy DM'd us on our Facebook page and said appreciate y'all the other day, and I thought it was awesome. And I texted him back and said go Cats, and he said yes sir, gator meat sounds real good. and so
I didn't know someone sent that. That's cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just nice to know that we're appreciated. We sound like women, but it is.
I've gotten that spiel before.
It is nice to know that we're appreciated. Maybe we are Swifties after all, Caden.
What did Adam say? DIVOR.
Yes, yeah, he did. Gosh. Man,
it was my mistake by bringing up an X comment on Wildcat Sports Talk.
Well, he said we could do an X's show, which I
there'd
feel
be a lot of content for that.
Yeah, I feel like there would be.
That show would last 10 hours
for that. Yeah, yes, that would be an extended edition,
extended explicit after dark, probably.
Yes, after dark. Triple down, all that kind of stuff. So, I think it absolutely
age
would be.
Verification before you log in, kind of thing. Yeah.
Age verification. Yeah, I think it very well could be. Hey, let's look at this Kentucky basketball schedule here. Which is fine. It just got finalized a couple days ago, really. And so our two exhibition games, Caden, if we start with that. Well, I guess we could start with Big Blue Madness, which is that it's on October 13th. Caden, that's in a couple weeks.
2.5 weeks. Yeah.
That's crazy. And I think Big Blue Madness tickets went on sale tonight, actually, or when tickets went on sale for Big Blue Madness, which they're not doing the camp out anymore. They're just doing it all online.
What?
Which they're doing it all online. Which they give the tickets out. They're free, but that sucks. The camp out is the best part of Big Blue Madness. Yes. Well, yeah.
How can you say? Wait. This is kind of like closing the football field parking lot. How can you say we're closed for camp out? How can they stop people?
You can't just pitch a tent. It's on Memorial.
What do you mean? They've done it for 50 years.
Well, yeah, but it's because they let them do it. They don't stop them from doing it. But now,
why are they stopping him? Stopping him now? COVID?
Well, I think they've been looking for a scapegoat to stop it for a while. And yes, the start of COVID was sort of the green light for them to call it off. And then now they just haven't brought it back since COVID. So
that's a shame.
It is a shame because that's the best part. I mean,
especially being a student there and seeing that.
Oh yeah, dude. Listen, I'd be walking my WRD 111 class, tripping over people in their tents. I mean, it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins
players go out there and give them pizza and stuff.
Yeah, DeMarcus Cousins walking around giving people pizza. Stone Cold Willow getting dunked on by Anthony Davis. You know, it's just it's the best. Which I ran into this guy the other day at it wasn't really the other day, it was this summer. I was in Frankfurt, and I was at this dry cleaning place. You know, I was dropping off my suits to be dry cleaned, as you do as a musician. And I had on my KSR polo, and much like Laura Rutledge, the guy said, the guy said, "Do you work for KSR?" And I said, "No, but I do my own podcast called Talkin Kentucky." He said, "I'll check it out, man." He said, "Yeah, I tell you what, Matt Jones." He said, "That dude interviewed me one time." He said, "That dude, you know, whatever." And
sounds like Josh.
Yeah, well, it was funny. I said, "Wait a minute, Matt Jones interviewed you?" And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "I was the one Anthony Davis dunked on the blue courts." I just thought it was awesome. I was like, "Oh, that's I know." He said he was going to check us out, so I don't know if he's a silent listener, but you know, I thought that was awesome that he did that. But yeah, Big Blue Madison in a couple of weeks. Our two exhibition games are Georgetown and Kentucky State, which, you know, I know they're exhibition games, but why are we playing Georgetown? Why are we playing Kentucky State? I mean, we're going to beat them by 1,000,000. I mean, does it really make us better to play?
I mean, the whole reason I watch the exhibition games is to like hope we win by more than 90 something and like beat the record, you know, kind of thing. Because it's not really enjoyable.
Well, at Asbury, we won by 103.
So. Oh, was it 103? So yeah, that's why I watch them. I just want to see them beat that mark. So
this is breaking news here. Claude said he watched that Nerlens and Stone Cold Willow live. That's like a historical event.
Hey, I interviewed Stone Cold.
Yeah, that's right. You interviewed Stone Cold Willow for your was that for your Word 111 class?
Yep. Okay. We did a presentation and we interviewed him. He worked at Canes right there down the road. Yeah. He talked about how him and Terrence Jones were buddies and everything. So it's cool.
Josh says, "Are you doing any college football picks tonight other than Kentucky?" Yeah, we'll get into our both Kentucky and other college football score predictions to kind of round out the show here in just a second. Man, I guess people don't care about the Kentucky basketball schedule. They're like, "Let's do the college pick 'em. Let's do the pick 'em" in the comments. So okay, we'll get to that in just a second. But Caden, once again, our sort of non-conference schedule. Maybe we can get more into this on the next show. Into the basketball stuff. You know, we'll have plenty of time to talk about basketball once we lose to Georgia and figure out that
and now you're being ready for basketball.
No, you know, but we play. I'm just disappointed that we play Miami. You know, like I'd rather be playing Duke or something like that.
Dude, look at that stretch there: Stonehill, St. Joseph, Marshall, Miami, UNC Wilmington, Penn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
everybody, look, Josh and Claude are saying it's not basketball season, it's football season, and I'm in football mode at the moment. So, all right, that's fun. We won't. I mean, what were you saying, Caden?
Never mind.
They're saying we're beating Georgia. Okay,
keeping it to myself.
All right, yeah. Well, that's cool. Okay, well, Caden. I think that's a sign that we should move into the college football pick'em. Okay, everybody's in football mode, and I understand that. You know, I'm a football Freddy, and Caden is slowly becoming one too. I've been meaning to put that drop on here, Caden, of Maggie Davis, saying, "I'm looking at you, Caden." And I want to do that. Like, I'm going to add that on here because it's awesome. She goes, "I hope to see you all at a football game this year. I'm looking at you, Caden."
Yeah.
And it was awesome. So yeah, we're going to have that on.
I got pointed out by the one and only.
The one and only. That's right. Louisville is currently losing to NC State 10-7. So yay for that. Louisville sucks. Utah and Oregon State just kicked off. Louisiana Tech and UTEP are playing, and Louisiana Tech is winning 7-0 right now, in case anybody that's alive with a beating heartbeat cares about that game. And Cincinnati will play BYU later tonight, in case anybody cares about that game.
No one. cares about any of those games. Just to confirm that.
Okay, just to confirm that, So, well, let's pick some games for tomorrow. Let's take USC Colorado. Colorado got absolutely destroyed last week. They lost 42-7.
Michael Jordan style.
Dion said that it was a good old-fashioned butt kicking, and it was, Caden. So do you foresee any scenario in which the 21.5 point favored USC goes down to the Buffs?
Yeah, go Buffs.
You're taking the Buffs in this game?
I'm still on the hype train. Let's go.
You're taking the Dion?
Yeah.
The Fighting Dion?
Yeah, they turn it around. He said we're coming. It's just one small bump in the road.
Well,
Let's go Buffs.
I mean, go Buffs. I mean, that's what they're going to be playing in the locker room when they beat. Claude says USC by 80. I would have to agree. I can't even as
y'all see.
Okay. Well, even as an alum of the University of Colorado, I cannot, in good faith, pick the Buffs to beat USC. I think that's going to be. It is at Colorado, though.
Yeah, see, done deal.
But that just goes to show you, USC is a 21.5 point favorite, and it's at Colorado. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Texas A&M, Arkansas. I think Arkansas was sort of surprised me last week. I think they gave LSU more of a game than I thought they would. And it's at Arkansas, so woo pig. Texas A&M is a 6 point favorite, but I think Texas A&M is worse than their record shows. I'm probably going to go Arkansas on this one, and they've got the most nude fans over there too. So I'm taking Arkansas.
I'm actually going to disagree with you again. I'm going Texas A&M.
Oh, you're going. Bobby Petrino, former Louisville coach, is offensive coordinator at Texas A&M. Yeah. So
See, I knew that, so that's why I picked.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you knew it. Let's look at Georgia and Auburn. Georgia's a 14.5 point favorite, but it's at Auburn. Man, weird things happen at I think it's Jordan-Hare Stadium there in Auburn, Alabama. So between the hedges, I think Auburn has more of a chance in that game than people think, but I'm still going to pick Georgia.
Yeah. I don't. Georgia by 20.
Yeah, well, okay. Michigan and Nebraska, there's no sense
I said 44-10. Okay. Maybe. Probably.
That's like your Vanderbilt score last week when I said, damn.
Wildcats. Yeah, and I thought it was actually going to happen when I saw the score halfway through.
And that would have been funny. Missouri and Vanderbilt. Caden, it's at Vandy. So, you got the construction zone there. You got to wear the hard hats.
Get the cranes.
Missouri's undefeated. They're a 14-point favorite. But do you think there's any scenario of old Dandy Vandy pulls out the win?
Missouri is going to stomp them.
You really think Missouri's that good?
I didn't say that. I think Vandy's
that bad. Oh, you think Vandy's that bad? Oh, like your text last week when you said Vandy. Okay.
Vandy's bad.
Okay. I'm going to take Vandy. I'm going to take the Doors. I think Clark Lee and the Doors upset the nerd Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri. So I think it shove them in the locker, as we say.
Well, I don't. So
Claude says Mizzou wins by 21, and Josh Hart says go Vandy. So I'm
21.
I'm on team Josh Hart for that one. I'm going Vandy. Now this is a big game, Caden. LSU at Ole Miss. There's something about Oxford, man. As we were talking about a Wildcat Sports Talk last week, they got the library. I mean, they let
do a show at. Yeah.
Yes, they let Adam and Tim in for free up where Peyton and Eli Manning did. And they got the Grove, and they got Lane Kiffin, and they got Juice Kiffin, the dog. I know.
How do you think they got that, by the way? You think they just walked in the library and said, hey, we're Wildcat Sports Talk, and we got a show we got to do here. So they're like, oh yeah, fine.
I think so. Well,
can we get away with that?
Well, we're thinking. Hey, listen, we're thinking about going to. If we go to Starkville, there's a chance that the four of us could end up in Starkville together. You think we could do a show at a bar in Starkville? I mean, I think we could. I don't think it's crazy.
I think you just gotta walk in confidently and say, hey, I got a show. Like, like you own the place or something. I don't think.
Yeah, we got a show here, sir. Just carry a ladder. If you're carrying a ladder in, you'll be fine. I know I'm in Baton Rouge. I'm on the campus of LSU right now. I'm less than a mile from Tiger Stadium, and I'm still going to pick Ole Miss to get the win tomorrow. LSU's 2.5-point favorite, though.
Ole Miss will win.
Claude says LSU by 28. Damn. If that happens, I mean, good God. I mean, that would be impressive. I would say LSU is good at that point, if that actually holds up. Now, really going into this year, nobody thought that this was going to be a good game. But Notre Dame and Duke, actually going to be a good game. Notre Dame's only lost last week to Ohio State. Duke is undefeated, which, by the way, a bunch of the basketball blue bloods, Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, Kansas, and Syracuse are all undefeated, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, we'll see how it is by like week 6 or 7.
Though. Yeah, we'll see. Claude says, yeah, Ole Miss puts on the party, but LSU shuts that down. Well, all right. We're going to shut that down. But who you going with here, okay? Notre Dame or Duke? It's at Duke.
I'll never pick Duke till the day I die. So
I think that's good logic.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think that's good logic. I'm going Notre Dame too. Going with the Catholics on this one. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Notre Dame as well. So South Carolina at Tennessee. I hate Tennessee, but in Neyland Stadium, I'm probably going to have to go Tennessee on this one.
Tennessee for sure.
Yeah. SEC doormat, South Carolina.
Yep.
That's absolutely right. Michigan State, Iowa, nobody cares about that game. We're not picking that. Appalachian State, Louisiana Monroe, no, not because Alabama, Mississippi State, yeah, nobody really cares about that. I mean, Alabama's going to win that game. So I think that's all the big games, honestly. I think that's all the ones we're going to pick, except actually there's one more that we'll pick, mentioning basketball blue bloods. Kansas at Texas. Both of these teams are undefeated. Texas is a 16-point favorite, but Caden, you think the Rock Chalk Jayhawks are going to go in there and give Texas a run for their money?
Negative.
Okay.
Texas.
Hook them.
Okay. Go Horns. Yeah, hook them.
Kentucky plays at Texas next year.
Really?
By the way, yeah. You think I can't wait to go in there and do the horns down and get a penalty.
L's down, horns down.
Well, did you know horns down is a penalty?
They take it serious.
You can't do the horns down.
Go to
jail. You can do the L's down. You can do the L's down. Yeah, it's illegal. They actually come to your house and arrest you if you throw the horns down. It's actually and then we
should test that theory.
They deport you actually when that happens.
Yeah, Texas for sure.
Yeah, Texas fight. Well, I mean, since nobody wants to talk any basketball, I guess we could save the basketball schedule talk for a little closer to Big Blue Madness. Everybody kind of wanted to shut us down on that one. So, well, you got any other news, Caden? Any other basketball, football things you want to talk about, or does that sum it up for tonight?
Yeah, I think that sums it up. I mean, we talked about Lance Ware and
Taylor Swift,
all things Kentucky football, and
Mitch Barnhart,
what the best coffee is. So what else is there?
Yeah, no, I think so. Well, guys, thanks for checking us out. As always, we appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to us on Spotify, if you're not subscribed to us on Spotify, what are you doing? Just subscribe to us on Spotify. Just do it, even if you don't listen. Like, what do you have to lose? How's it going to negatively impact your life if you hit follow on Talking Kentucky? If you just hit follow, you don't have to listen to us again. Just hit follow. It's not going to hurt you. And also rate us 5 stars, even if you don't think we're 5 stars. Like, again. Like, who cares? Like, you're not gonna be affected by that. Just rate us 5 stars, okay, and do that kind of stuff. And then if you actually do want to give us money, we do have a Patreon account, so you can go on our Patreon, and you can support us, and then you'll get some merch in return for your support. You get a coffee cup, and you'll get a sticker. And Caden and I are still working on getting some merch out there. Some more merch for you to purchase.
We pretty much just have to make it live on our website at this point.
That's pretty much all we get. We changed the color of the coffee cup from Carolina blue to UK blue, which I feel like was
navy blue, but it'll work.
Well, it was a good adjustment. I feel like, it was a good adjustment. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, you just go ahead and follow us on that. If you haven't already liked us on Facebook, like Talking Kentucky on Facebook. Follow this is where we do most of our stuff here on Facebook. We also have a YouTube channel. We post all our episodes up on there, and we put some hilarious, reels and videos and things like that resemble the TikTok for the kids on YouTube. So we do that, and then also
trying Tennessee fans in a video kind of thing.
That's right. And also trying to model the TikTok. We're on Instagram and Threads as well at Talkin_Kentucky on there as well. And like I said, rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify. It's not going to negatively impact your life. And that's the reason that you should do it, because it's not going to negatively impact your life. So, thanks, guys, for checking us out and listening to us. Brad, Harvey, and I are going to do a post-game show tomorrow, win or lose. It'll probably be around 4 or 5 o'clock. Just watch our page for the time. It'll probably be not right after the game, but a little bit later in the afternoon. So watch for that. Be sure to join us for that. And hopefully we'll be celebrating a win and going into Athens next week undefeated, as we all predicted. So Josh Hart says, "Go Big Blue, smash the Gators." That's very right, Josh. Smash the Gators, just like Bruce Pearl. That's absolutely right. And Caden, what's the name of this episode?
I have 2 in mind.
Okay.
So we could either go Talking Bright and Fruity.
Yep.
Or we could just break the talking cycle and say, how about Lance?
See, I was going to say Talking Swifty might be a good one, because I have a theory behind this game. If we name an episode Talking Swifty, don't you think that's going to get some clicks?
Talking Taylor Ware?
Yeah. I feel like Talking Swifty would get some clicks from the Taylor Swift fan base, which is every woman in existence. Yes. So I mean, if you want our women numbers to go up, Talking Swifty. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
Do we have any women numbers?
That's why I'm saying we need to make Talking Swifty. Yes, we do have women. I think we have like 15% of our listeners are women. So it's probably like both our moms. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
So, yeah.
Definitely not our exes.
Yeah. You never know. But shout out. But so all right. So what are you thinking on the name?
I'm fine with Swifty. Yeah.
You're talking. How do you spell Swifty?
Take your best guess.
Okay.
It probably doesn't matter.
Well, I'm gonna make sure of this. Let's
Maybe
see.
with a Y, I'd say.
I was thinking IE.
Talking Lancy.
Well, I don't know about that. Swifty. It's talking,
yeah. Josh got it in there.
Talking Well, it says technically on Google, it says Swifties, SWIFTIES is the correct spelling of it.
We can go with singular or plural. It doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't matter. I just we wouldn't want to offend any Swifties, so until they click on that,
they'd already be offended if they heard
Swifty Ware. Well, all right. On that note, guys, get up tomorrow morning, pound some beers, like Mark Stoops said. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating the Cats win. Cats play the Gators. Go kick the Gators' teeth in, or whatever Clyde said.
Yeah,
just like Clyde said. That's right. And you can play some hey baby, there ain't no easy way afterward. What's the name of that guy that sings that song? I forget. Stand my ground.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. I've heard the song.
Yeah, that guy that they always say. Yeah, well, anyway, that's right. Well, go Cats, and thank you guys very much for listening. Be sure to catch the post-game show tomorrow, as hopefully the Cats move to 5-0. And this has been Talking Kentucky for Coleman Scott, for Caden Holmes. We will see y'all next time. Go Cats.
Go Cats.